The New Orleans Pelicans are officially the worst franchise in the NBA. Make no mistake about it. But before I get into why they are the worst team in the NBA, so many breaking news today regarding so many key players and up-and-coming players in the NBA. But the Lakers have officially pulled out of the Anthony Davis trade request because the Pelicans were asking for outrageous requests. And I'll go over that in a little bit. John Wall is out for the remainder of the season for another 12 months. John Wall has reportedly torn his Achilles in his own house, slipped. Not much details, but he slipped. How do Washington Wizards fans expect to react to this? I saw Rachel Nichols, God bless her heart, love her skills and talent, but she defended the whole John Wall situation, saying things happen. That's fine. Things do happen. But do they happen like that? It boggles my mind. It really does boggle my mind. John Wall has undergone surgery for a ruptured left Achilles tendon. Will be out for 12 months and some. That is unfortunate. And then we get Mo Bamba will miss significant time with a lower leg stress fracture from the Orlando Magic. Tough news for the rookie. I wasn't very high on him coming out of college from the Texas Longhorns, but he showed signs in Summer League. I had a chance to watch him play. I was encouraged by what I saw from him. I've been a little bit discouraged from what I saw from him this season. A lot of it has to do with Vujacic being that good, an all-star center, 20 and 10 every single night consistently. I think he's at 13 rebounds. But, the whole saying 20 and 10 type guy, he is that and much more. He will get paid this offseason. So a lot of it has to do with that. And there's just not enough playing time with Aaron Gordon and Jonathan Isaac, who was a top 6 pick last year for the Orlando Magic. So again, tough news for the Magic, tough news for Mo Bamba. Other reported rumors: Raptors have offered Memphis Lowry and Valanciunas for Conley and Gasol. Now, make no mistake about this. If the Raptors somehow, some way can land this trade, they would be instant contenders for the championship. Like, they would be guaranteed to be in the finals. Obviously, this is all barring injury. You put Mike Conley, Marc Gasol, Kawhi Leonard, OG Anunoby, Siakam, and that team is a finals team. And that team is a team that will take the Golden State Warriors to 7 games because those guys are winners. I would love for it to happen. It would suck for Kyle Lowry. He'd probably ask for a buyout, honestly. But that's that. That is something to keep your eye on with less than 48 hours away from this year's NBA trade deadline. I can't wait for it. Another thing is Dirk Nowitzki on this day in 1999 was the day he made his debut. Shout out to him. And LeVar Ball has spoken once again, saying that Luke Walton is the worst coach Lonzo Ball has ever had. Period. I'm beginning to question if the Pelicans maybe kind of got turned off because of what LeVar Ball said. I don't think so. I just think Dell Demps is that silly and will probably get fired in the offseason because of his ineptitude of not pulling the trigger for this insanely outrageous offer that the Lakers gave him. How on earth do you say no to Josh Hart, Lonzo Ball, Ingram, Kuzma, Zubac, first-round picks, and you're taking on Solomon Hill's terrible contract? How on earth does that happen? I don't get it. It doesn't make any sense for the Pelicans to decline such an insane deal. Now, I know that most of New Orleans don't have love for the Pelicans. It's a New Orleans Saints town, LSU Tigers. I get that. But your team is about to lose Anthony Davis. He's already said, I'm not coming back. And you have this insane offer from the Lakers. And you said, no. Now, is it because you want Jason Tatum from the Boston Celtics? Is Jason Tatum better than all of these pieces together? Hell no, he's not. Hell no, he is not. This deal makes no sense. I am a Laker hater. And I wanted them to pull the trigger because I know they would have zero depth after this trade. They would probably have to call on Patrick Mahomes from the Kansas City Chiefs and Uncle Drew, Andre, from the Lakers G League squad, Andre Ingram. That's how desperate the Lakers are. And for the Pelicans, for Dell Demps to say no, what is wrong with him? How does that make sense? Now, the deadline is less than 48 hours away. Can something change? Sure. Should it change? If that deal is still on the table, it needs to change. If he has any slim hopes of saving his job, because that man will not have a job for a very long time. Unfortunate that he went to the UOP Tigers back in his day. I am from Stockton. I can't believe it. I cannot believe you can turn down all of these assets. You can flip some of these guys, by the way, and get even more assets if your whole thing is, oh, they may not fit. I don't get it. It's just so frustrating seeing something so silly. How and why won't you pull the trigger? Why would you make one of the best players in the NBA sit out for the remainder of the season? That's not good for the NBA. That's not good for basketball. We want to watch Anthony Davis. He is healthy. He has been cleared by the New Orleans Pelicans medical staff. What is wrong with Dell Demps? Now, again, the deadline is less than 48 hours away. Almost less. I think it's like almost 36 hours away. And the Sacramento Kings have not made any noise in terms of making a deal. Now, that can change within literally the last 5 minutes of the deadline as it approaches. The Kings are buyers, not sellers. They have $11 million roughly to take on some contracts. Now, there is a bunch of Twitter talk, and you see it, and you see the Instagram talk, and it's exciting. But if they don't make a move after winning last night and after proving that they can indeed contend for that 8 seed this year, if they don't make that move that can get them over the hump, I'll be very, very disappointed. Very disappointed. Now I get it. They're exceeding expectations. I said that earlier in the season. Just enjoy the team. They haven't won like this in a while. But I'll say this, and things have changed. My ideas of this team have changed because this team is actually good. They're fun to watch, and they're talented enough to fight for that spot, but they're not good enough as they are right now to make that final run. They need to solidify that small forward position if they indeed want to make the playoffs this year. Don't make it next year, but this year is critical, in my opinion. Yeah, they may get swept or they may get one game against the Warriors. But can you imagine a Kings Warriors first round matchup? How exciting that would be. Now, I would take a sweep because the Kings haven't been in the playoffs in so damn long. Now, I'm not saying they're going to sweep them. I think they'll get one game at least. At the very minimum, they'll probably still game 2. That would be something to watch. Kings Warriors in the playoffs. But they need to call the Washington Wizards right now. What does it take to get Otto Porter over here? Or they need to call the Charlotte Hornets and say, what does it take to get a Nicholas Batum? I think he's a guy that can move the needle a little bit. Or please don't get the other guy on that team, MKG. Please don't get him. and I've seen that swirl in the Twitter, sphere. Please don't get that man from Kentucky. That is not a guy that would move the needle. No. So again, Lonzo Ball, LeVar Ball says the team he needs to go to is Phoenix. DeAndre Ayton, Devin Booker, Lonzo Ball. Is that a nice nucleus? I love it. I would love to see that. But how the hell is that going to happen if they want to acquire AD? Now, I love me some BBB shoes, and I love the materials and the overall shoes, the new Lonzo Balls and the Jello Dark Knights. I love the shoes. But LeVar, he can speak it into existence. But unless the Suns somehow, some way speak up and offer something good, I don't see that happening. I would like to see it happen. Maybe the Kings can be a third or fourth team that can facilitate a trade. It's nice to dream, but probably not. There should be a lot of movement in the next 36 hours. What type of movement is the real question. Now, again, Dell Demps, man, this guy is something else. My goodness. How do you turn down that deal? Now, other deals that can happen at the NBA trade deadline are the Celtics saying, you know what? As much as I love Kyrie and I know I want to put AD and Kyrie together, but the only way for me to get AD this year is to trade Kyrie, I would do it. Now, why would I do it? Because I have Rozier, and in that situation, I wouldn't want to give up Jason Tatum. Now, you put Rozier, Tatum, and AD, and the outgoing players would probably be Kyrie, Jaylen Brown, Marcus Smart, something along those lines. I would do it. The pieces simply seem not to fit in Boston. Now, they were the number 2 team last year. Now, They have struggled. They have struggled. Why is that? Maybe it's because Kyrie's not a number one guy. And I've said that for a long time now. Kyrie to me is not a number one guy. He is a nice guy to have in the clutch. He is a number two. He is a complimentary star, in my opinion. Now, you guys let me know if I'm off, if you think I'm crazy. I love him as a player, but he is not and should not be your number one guy, the best player on your team. He still lacks those leadership qualities. He had to call LeBron James to say, bruh, you were right about so many things and about all the pressure of being that guy. Man. At least he admitted it. At least he owned up to it, manned up to it, and I applaud him for that. Those are signs in the right direction of him becoming a leader. But as of right now, he is not a leader. Kyrie Irving. Love the guy. Clutch as hell. Handles are just sick. But he's not a leader, and he should not be your number one guy. So if Danny Ainge fears that Dell Demps may come to a senses and start to use logic and say, you know what? Hey, Magic, is that deal still on the table? Huh. Can we still make that deal happen so I can at least try and save my job? Then Danny Ainge must take action and must give up Kyrie in that trade. That's how I feel about that. Period. Now, if you're the Pelicans, which trade is better? Kyrie, Jaylen Brown, Marcus Smart, or Gordon Hayward? However that works, salaries work. Or the nucleus of Josh Hart, Lonzo Ball, Zubats, Ingram, and Kuzma. Can you go wrong either way? I don't think you can. Well, actually, you can, because if you take Kyrie, he's not signing in New Orleans, and he's heading to New York. So I would take that Lakers deal. Stop being so immature, Dell Demps. It's just ridiculous. How do you not take that deal? It makes me mad just thinking about it over and over and over and over. Of course, I was playing dumb right now. That's a dumb question. Of course, that Laker deal is much, much better than the Kyrie deal. But that would be the only thing that would make Dell Demps maybe think, because he's that inept, in my opinion. If you get Kyrie in that trade, he's not staying. He's going straight to New York. He may even sit out the second half of the season, to be honest. And I wouldn't blame him. My goodness. But that's how I feel about this entire situation. Now, would I like to see LeBron James, AD together? Sure, I would. Why not? Along with, I don't know who else, with me as the point guard of the team, with Andre Ingram as the shooting guard of the team, with Patrick Mahomes as my backup. Would we still beat the Golden State Warriors? Oh man. And that's the funny part is they're mortgaging their future. They are mortgaging the future knowing that they still won't beat the Golden State Warriors. And that's why I want the Lakers to pull the trigger. Man. Boy, oh boy. Gotta love it. And then I also want to address some of the Instagram people or, some of the people that comment on this YouTube channel. When you say Leo said or doesn't think Bagley is good, you show me where I have said that. I have never said that Bagley is not good. I simply said that I would have drafted Luka Doncic. Now, is it disrespectful to say LeBron is better than Kevin Durant and that I don't like KD because I don't think he's better? Of course not. I've always said that Bagley is a good player who has the upside to be a great player. And I said Luka would be a great player a lot sooner. And they're just completely different players. So again, comparing them and just continuing to bring them up and showing that petty side of you, like, no, just enjoy the fact the Kings are relevant, that the Kings are good, and Marvin Bagley is showing signs of becoming that star that the Kings hoped they had when they drafted him. That's what matters right now, okay? Don't you dare put words in my mouth, because at the end of the day, everything is documented. And we can all go back and you can show me where I said where I didn't think he was good, because I've never said that. Marvin Bagley is a magnificent athlete. I've always said that. Marvin Bagley is the future center of this team. I've said that since March. Not of this team. I've said that he was a center since March. And then when he got drafted, that he was a center, future center of the Kings. Now, a lot of people say, well, they should start him. Okay, that's fine. But you're not going to bench Bielitsa. You're going to bench Willie for that, because that makes more sense. And at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter if he starts or not. He's going to get the bulk of the minutes. It seems like he is beginning to come into his zone, and that matters. So regardless if he starts or not, if he does start, that should be the move, which I don't think is going to happen because they're still trying to entice some moves for Willie Cauley-Stein, who is on the market, according to some people. We'll see what happens. Just want to come on real quick and just tell you guys how I feel about this ridiculous, outrageous decline of the New Orleans Pelicans, who I believe is the worst franchise in the NBA. Dell Demps, please, just stop it already. My goodness. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to our YouTube channel for more NBA news, NBA alerts. Follow us at Basketball Zone Official on Instagram. Thank you guys so much, and I'll see you guys on the next one.